after the Bnei Israel, after the Israelites went through the Red Sea, they traveled through the wilderness. It says they traveled for 3 days, v'lo matzu mayim, and they didn't find any water. They complained to Moshe, we want water. They came to a place called Marah. The water was brackish, it was saline, they couldn't drink it. And Moshe was told by Hashem to make a miracle and to make the water sweet. But the Talmud says as follows, that this verse can be understood on a different level of interpretation. When it says that they went for 3 days and they couldn't find water and they became thirsty and desperate, it doesn't just mean water, it means Torah. They went for 3 days without Torah. They were a new people who were going to become the people of Hashem through the Torah. They went for 3 days and they didn't have any spiritual sustenance. They didn't have any Torah. Torah, we find, is often compared to as water in the words of our prophets. And therefore says the Talmud that when the early prophets set up a system of us reading Torah, it's always done in such a way that we would never go 3 days without the public reading of the Torah. We read the Torah on Shabbat, and then again on Monday, then again on Thursday, and then again on Shabbat. There's never 3 days that we don't have the public reading of the Torah. Because the soul of a Jewish person needs that spiritual sustenance, that spiritual water. We need water, we need Torah. And it's fascinating that the sages tell us in Tractate Shabbat that when a person passes from this world, they go before the heavenly tribunal. There are 6 questions. And one of those questions is, Kavata itim Torah. Did you set aside time to study Torah every single day? Jewish education doesn't end at your bar mitzvah or perhaps when you finish school. It continues your entire life. And not just when you're a yeshiva bocher. Not just if you're a rabbi and you're sitting in yeshiva and you're sitting in your study. Every single Jew has to learn Torah. How much? Well, this depends on your schedule. But at least every single day. Set aside some time that has to be sacrosanct. And that's when you study Torah. And today it's easier than ever before. You can connect to a Torah page on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and get a little message. Perhaps a recorded message or a written message. There are so many different websites. It's not difficult whatsoever. You can join a share on Zoom. But every single day. And don't let a day go without studying Torah. Because the more you move away from Torah, the further it moves away from you. And that's what the sages tell us in this week's Parsha. They went for 3 days. And their souls were thirsty. They needed Torah. We have to, as Jewish people, continue our education, our spiritual sustenance each and every day. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.